Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me once again to another edition of True Conservative Radio. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. It is episode number 160 for the folks that are keeping track with the True Conservative Radio program. And before we move on with anything further, I'd like for everybody to please add to your favorites or bookmark the official True Conservative blog at ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And, of course, folks, there is no chat room in correlation with this broadcast because we have a bunch of digital terrorists that are trying to suppress my freedom of speech, that are trying to suppress my internet freedom. So if you want to interact with tonight's program, of course, folks, you can follow me on Twitter, and you can go ahead and send me a line or two on Twitter, and the name to send it to is Ghost Politics, all one word, no underscores, Ghost Politics. If you want to interact with this evening's program, folks, because, of course, we cannot have a chat room because we've got these little internet digital terrorist hooligans trying to hack the chat room, trying to harass fans of the True Conservative Radio program, trying to be just completely chaotic in whatever fashion possible for no cause, just for the sake of doing it and to help the integrity of the show and to provide a little bit of safety to the True Conservative fans out here. We are not going to have a chat room. So, of course, folks, if you are listening, if there's anybody out there listening, please shoot me a little tweet at Ghost Politics. All right, that's the Twitter name, Ghost Politics. Is this thing on? Hello? Anyway, folks, this is pretty much of a sporadic broadcast, kind of a free format edition, if you will, folks, because there's a whole bunch of topics that I'd like to get into, and unfortunately we may get sidetracked because we might have a bunch of prank callers and these ass clowns that are attempting to deviate the program into different subject matters. But one of the things I want to talk about, folks, is the thing that I've been blogging about as of late, and that's the impending second wave of this real estate collapse. And for you folks that thought 2008 was going to be bad, folks, I wrote a blog about the impending real estate collapse. And it's not just the regular real estate market. Now, remember, the subprime mortgage in 2008, those were financial instruments that had fluctuated rates at that particular year to a good percentage of the folks that took loans out on a lot of these homes out here, and they weren't able to pay it. And for those that were able to pay it, unfortunately, the economic retraction had their jobs laid off or their jobs were no longer around, and these people were out of work, and they foreclosed on their homes. So it was a big debacle in 2008. I don't have to remind you. But, folks, there's several more financial instruments that are actually coming in. All right, there's a few more financial instruments that are similar to the subprime mortgage crisis situation. Unlike the subprime mortgage, where when you were a subprime mortgage person or somebody who mortgaged your home under these subprime mortgage instruments, you initially got in on a low interest rate, and eventually it was going to reset at, if you read your contract, most of these ass clowns didn't, but it was going to reset at one of these balloon interest rate payments. And the reason that the financial institutions decided to give this subprime mortgage to those people who would otherwise never have gotten a home if this was the 80s or previous is because you have to get a level of risk. There's a level of risk involved when you lend people money that really shouldn't be getting money. And this is why these individuals who would, instead of actually rebuilding their credit and doing the financial necessary procedures to make yourself credible with these financial institutions, they just decide to sign their name on the dotted line to these ridiculous, dumbass, high interest rate, teaser garbages. And now we're in this predicament, folks. It's this real estate market. It's one of the key cornerstones of why our economic situation is so precarious, on top of the fact that we consume more than we produce. But we've already talked about that several times, so we're talking about the impending real estate debacle that's going to make 2008 look like a picnic. Now, let me elaborate on some of these new financial instruments that are about to reset here within the next 2 years. These instruments are similar to the subprime mortgage. The only difference is that a lot of these financial instruments brought people in on teaser rates, meaning that, they were able to get people to sign their names on the dotted line, promising them teaser rates of 1 or 2%, sometimes 3%. I'm serious, 1 or 2%, 3% interest rates. And these idiots, I don't know if they didn't know, I don't know if they didn't read the fine print in the contract, but they didn't realize that these teaser rates were going to expire at some time. And a good majority of these teaser rate financial instruments are about to expire here in the mid part in the summertime of 2010 and on through 2014. And what's really unfortunate about these reset rates, because you see, they're going to reset from the teaser rate down to the regular rate or whatever negotiated rate that was in the contract. The unfortunate part about this is that a lot of, I think it's like 30 or 40% of the individuals that are in these financial instruments are already on the verge or already have not already foreclosed on their homes on the teaser rates. I mean, let me repeat that again. Folks are on the verge of foreclosing or already foreclosed on homes, still paying on these teaser rates. So just imagine here within the next 4 years, starting this year, when these little 1%, 2%, 3% teaser rates reset back to whatever it is, 7, 10, 15%, whatever these idiots negotiated for. It's going to be a whole second wave of real estate debacle, folks. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because guess what the talk is on the Beltway? Oh, yeah, guess what the talk is out there in Washington? Bailout. That's right, bailout time. It's time to bail out the real estate industry. And you've got liberals who have been lobbied and all these other ass clowns. I don't mean to leave out the Republicans because they're just as guilty as all these other blood-sucking liberals. But they're talking about bailing out the damn real estate market. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I mean, I could smell it coming on. What's next? The newspaper industry? What's next? We've already bailed out the pornographic industry back in Stimulus Package 2 last February or January, whenever the hell that damn ridiculous abomination was passed. I mean, why don't we bail out everybody? I mean, I'm telling you, folks, it's turning into absolute serfdom, communist, socialist, I don't even know what to call it. It's a hegemony of all the leftist extremist ideas. That's what we're seeing right here in America. It's a damn hegemony of damn leftism. It's disgusting. And yet here we are as the American people who bequeathed a nation that was made for the people and by the people. The people are just sitting there on their thumbs, not giving two rat's asses about their social situations, economic situations, or political situations. They're just sitting there hoping somebody else will take care of the problem. And that's been the problem of this country all along. And that's why I continue to do these broadcasts. That's why I'm hoping that there's somebody. I know there's a lot of these dumbass, 4chan, E-bomb, little prank caller, digital terrorist assholes that are listening in, hoping to get the little prank call in so they can make another little YouTube video about me. But I hope that there's some sincere, conservative, true, patriotic American individuals who understand what is going on and what is taking place here in America and understand that this is our time as American citizens. This is the youth's time as young Americans to stand up and demand free market capitalism, demand the same opportunities that were accorded to Americans prior to this ridiculous socialistic and communist transition. We do not want to be equated with anything that is going to make all mankind the same. Do you understand that? I would rather be poor in a free market capitalist society than be a regular schmo in communism any day of the week, folks. And you should realize it. Because when you're a regular schmo in communism, there is no going up. And the only time you can go up in that society is if you're a politician. And the only way you're going to become a politician in communist, whatever communist society you live in, is if you know somebody, or if you're born in the bureaucracy, huh? Kind of a 21st century monarchism, doesn't it? Doesn't it kind of smell like that? Doesn't it kind of give you a good whiff of that? Give me a damn break. But anyway, back to the real estate situation, folks. We're talking about a new real estate debacle that's about to hit the economic situation here in America. And folks, I don't know if you've been observing what's happening across American communities. You know that individuals who have foreclosed on their homes, these assholes who pulled out these little financial instruments like subprime and these little teaser financial instruments that are about to reset in the next 4 years here that are going to cause a second wave of economic instability. What it does, it jeopardizes homeowners who actually put money down, who actually put some money down on their homes. It actually jeopardizes the homeowner's investment in their own damn property. Because you know what's really unfortunate, folks, is when these assholes get foreclosed, they don't understand. You see, they don't really have the maturity, nor do they have the rational understanding that they never owned that home. All right? They weren't going to own that home for another 30 years. Or 25 years, whatever mortgage you put out. And when they can't, come up with a mortgage, well, unfortunately, it has to be taken away. So what these people do is they wreck the house. They take everything that isn't, nailed down, and even the things that are nailed down, they yank it the hell out. Take the walls out, take plugs and toilets and stoves and air conditioners and water boilers, the whole 9 yards. Okay? And, these, I'm sure if you're an American and if you're a property owner, you know what I'm speaking about. These are your neighbors. These are people down the street from you that have been foreclosed on, that literally just gutted the house, and the bank is left with a gutted house. They do a half-ass job in renovating the joint, and lo and behold, they're selling it on the market about 70% less than what your property value is, or what your neighbor's property value is. I mean, in areas where homes were selling for $350,000, $400,000, those same homes now in modern-day communist America, in this new I don't even know what you want to call it, these homes are now going for as low as $30,000. And just imagine if you're one of the individuals who put down money on your home and is still fulfilling your mortgage. You're not one of these schmucks that, couldn't play the game, that, didn't bite off more than you can chew. Let's say you're one of these hard-working Americans that are paying your mortgage. And you're paying a mortgage based on a $350,000 real estate value. And just imagine when these foreclosed homes next to you finally start going for $30,000, $60,000, $70,000. Well, first of all, that brings down your real estate value dramatically. I mean, and secondly, that means that schmoes that have no business being in your neighborhood are all of a sudden going to be able to get access to purchase properties in that damn neighborhood. So what does that mean? Well, on top of your real estate value going down, you've got schmucks, that should be in a damn housing project or in a damn trailer park or in a damn ghetto somewhere, moved up in to upper middle class, higher class neighborhoods because of this real estate debacle. And it's going to get even worse and worse. Welcome to the new communist socialist America, folks. I can't believe that this is it. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Why do you think they're going to bail out the real estate industry? They're going to keep people's homes. This is what they're going to do. They're going to try to keep homes at a certain rate. Excuse me. They're going to keep homes at a certain rate with this bailout. Meanwhile, deflating the buying power, the purchasing power of our dollar in the process. So when our houses, the people that still are paying on $350,000 mortgages, well, maybe the real estate will still stay at that value, but, a loaf of bread is going to cost about $50 at some point. I'm telling you, we're going down that road. I want to hear from you. What do you think about it? Why don't you shoot me a tweet? Ghost Politics is the name. All one word, no underscores, folks. There is no chat room here, and the reason there's no chat room is because we have leftist digital terrorists trying to suppress my internet freedom, trying to suppress my freedom of speech because, well, obviously they don't agree with it. They don't agree with it, so what they're doing is they're trying to use digital terrorist tactics to suppress my political perspective. So if you want to interact with the show, go ahead and either give me a call here at the studio, 646-652-4869, or shoot me a tweet at Twitter at Ghost Politics. I want to hear from you. Is there anybody listening out there? I see there's a few people listening. What's going on to Sean, who's listening out there? I see Delman is listening. I see a whole bunch of other people listening. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think? Should we bail out the real estate industry? I mean, why not bail out everybody else? Why don't we bail out everybody? How about that? I mean, since everybody's in such a giving mood with the taxpayers' money, why don't we just bail out everybody? We're bailing out the real estate industry. We're bailing out the banking industry. We're bailing out Wall Street. We're bailing out the car industry. We're bailing out everybody. What do you think? 646-652-4869. Or once again, shoot me a little tweet live. I can see it here live on the broadcast at Ghost Politics. That's on Twitter, you ass clowns. Get yourself a Twitter account. And the only reason I say that is because there's so many ass clowns on Twitter. It's unfreaking believable. So why don't you go ahead and shoot me a tweet at Ghost Politics. Anyway, folks, we're going to take a few callers here. And, of course, if we get some prey callers, if we get some derogatory statements, if we get some racial slurs, don't be surprised. This is the youth of America. These are the individuals out here that are, trying to cause mischief for the sake of doing it. They think it's a big joke. And remember, this could be your child here. While you're out working, busting your ass, and your child's, sitting back at home, or you're asleep in your bed, and you think that your child's just playing innocent little games on his computer. He's actually conducting himself in this manner. This could be your child here, and I think that parents need to be held accountable. And to be quite honest, I think that what we need to do is bring the damn paddle out of the woodshed and start implementing some disciplinary action on these damn stupid snot-nosed little kids once again. But that's just my personal opinion. We're talking about bailouts here. You think we should bail out the real estate industry? I want to hear from you. 919, you're on the air.
Absolutely not, Ghost. We're not bailing out the housing markets. I'm actually pretty glad.
Let me play devil's advocate here, okay? The reason they're saying that they need to bail out the housing market is the same reason that they had to bail out the AIG and Wall Street situation, that it could jeopardize, back in the banking situation, it was going to jeopardize everybody's savings accounts. Here in the housing market, it's going to jeopardize everybody's real estate value. What do you got to say to that, to those liberals?
Well, we bailed out the banks because they were too big to fail. You got to remember that. So many people had their money invested in them, their loans taken out through them. Their lives were in those banks. Their financial lives were in those banks. So I can understand the bank bailout. But the housing market, if you're too dumb to know what you're signing away on your mortgage, no, you shouldn't be rewarded for that. If you're giving loans to these black people with horrible credit, no, you shouldn't be getting a bailout. You shouldn't be rewarded for that.
Well, I mean, they're not necessarily going to reward. I mean, this is their argument, okay? I don't believe it. You're exactly right, sir. That, there's going to be people who slip through the cracks, and they're going to be pretty big cracks, mind you, and they're going to be bailed out. They're going to be getting these $400,000 homes and $30,000, and it's going to be ridiculous, and you got ghettos and regular American upper society. But once again, homeowners who actually invested 20, 30 years or, a long-term investment into their home as some sort of a financial nest egg, these individuals are going to lose value, and they're going to actually be paying into a home which at one point cost $350,000, and because of the foreclosures and the banking sales of these foreclosed homes or quote-unquote toxic assets, that $350,000 home is now down to about $90,000, $100,000. And no financial institution in their right mind is going to give them a home equity loan based upon that $350,000. And it's just going to be a complete and utter mess. I mean, this is the argument that they're giving.
You're right. It's a pretty bad argument, if you ask me. I mean,
well, I agree. It's a pretty bad argument, but once again, there is an impending danger that's going to loom over the real estate market. And it's going to be the same thing that happened in the subprime crisis. The only difference is it's going to be worse because subprime was just one financial instrument. There's going to be 2 or 3 financial instruments that are similar to subprime. The only difference is that they're resetting from teaser rates that got these people in at about 1, 2, 3%, and they're going to reset here within the next 4 years up to 7, 10, 15%. And there's about 30% of these people that are already foreclosing at the teaser rate level. So just imagine when these things reset. I mean, we could see up to 70%. I've heard from some financial analysts, 70% people foreclosing from these financial instruments.
Well, hopefully all these people find jobs or get raises at their jobs because, we're really in trouble if they don't.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. How are we going to get these jobs? You got Obama pushing this jobs bill, basically turning America into communist America to where the only job opportunity one can have is to work for the state. I don't know if you've read this statistic. The average bureaucrat that works for our government makes on average $72,000 a year, and in private sector America, the average person is making just over $35,000 a year. So this is the type of America that we're turning into. We need to rectify the problem of a lack of investment, of private sector investment in America, and the fact that the only businesses that are employing anybody today are service industry-oriented businesses, bars, these types.
Tourism. We're a tourism country now. Tourism and alcohol.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna head out. Let you take other callers.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your call.
I want to say hi to my friend Sean over at Conservative Truth and Thought. Love that guy. I think he's kind of ugly, but I totally agree with everything he says.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much for tuning in. And, Sean, he's a good conservative. I mean, we shouldn't be judging people based upon appearances. That's what got us into this whole predicament in this political situation and this economic situation. But I want to thank you very much for your call. Once again, folks, should we or should we not bail out the real estate market? That's what I want to hear from you. I mean, I've got some tweets saying that we should. We should bail out. I've got some that say we shouldn't. Hell no, this is supposed to be free market capitalism. All right, I mean, we should just let these things go afloat. But, there's a lot of precarious things that we should have been talking about this whole time, and I've been screaming about it for over 4 years. Freaking morons, I'm sorry. Just to be candid with you folks, I've gone to the doctor and, he's been telling me that I need to lay off from the show. I need to stop with the antics and, getting upset, breaking things on the air. It's been affecting my blood pressure. It's been affecting my, it's been giving me heart palpitations, all kinds of medical problems that I don't even want to discuss on this broadcast. But I'm going to continue to do this broadcast. The only difference is I'm going to try. And by God, I am going to sincerely try to stop from getting so upset and screaming and breaking things, folks, just to help preserve my health so that I can continue to aid in this fight against communism or socialism or whatever you want to call this crap. I mean, it's a hegemony of the left is what I like to call it, a hodgepodge of leftism here in America. But once again, I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. And, of course, folks, I want to hear you in the tweets, in little Twitter land out there. And the name to send me a Twitter at is Ghost Politics. All one word, no underscores. All right, should we be bailing out the real estate market? All right, and on top of the regular home real estate, the regular homes in America, the commercial real estate industry. That's another sector of the commercial, or another sector of the real estate industry in general. That's about to take a tumble. That's about to take a good slap into reality. And this is another reason why these liberals and these people on the Beltway are talking about a bailout for the real estate market. So there are many more financial woes ahead. Now, folks, I know that there's been some conservative or so-called conservative talking heads that have been telling people, oh, you've got to go and save your money and buy gold. Gold is going to be great. It's going to take off. It's going to make you fortunes. I mean, do you understand what's going on here, folks? This is a pump and dump situation, in my opinion. This is a pump and dump situation. And this is why, folks, that anything that I say on this broadcast, it's not sponsored by anybody. All right, I'm not like Beck or, Savage over here, sponsored by, quote-unquote, gold companies. All right? I mean, let's be honest, folks. What is gold? It's a shiny object that, makes chicks' panties wet. All right? Big deal. I mean, gold is a shiny rock, you ass clowns, all right? If for any reason the price of gold goes up, that means not the price of gold is going up. The price of gold stays the same. All right, it always, stays the same. Sometimes it fluctuates a tad bit, but it's pretty steady in its value. But any time that you see that gold is rising, it's because of the currency lacking in value. The currency that it's being traded in is lacking in value. So I'm going to be the first one to tell you, for all you idiots that are blowing your money in gold, for heaven's sake, you're just complete morons. All right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you want to be an investor and you want a certain portion of your portfolio in gold, well, then, by God, go ahead and do it. But if you're one of these morons that are doing, this, I'm going to sell all my, all my crap, I'm going to put all my life's savings in gold, you're only helping and aiding and abetting these morons that are going to capitalize when this gold bubble starts hitting about $4,000 an ounce. And mark my words, folks, you will see gold at $4,000 an ounce, but it's not going to be because gold is so expensive or gold is so profitable. It's because the American dollar is going to be worth a piece of paper. You understand that? It's going to mean that the American dollar is worth diddly. That's why gold is going to be up the roof. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on Savage or Beck over here, but, I mean, let's be honest. You're bought and paid for, Beck, Savage. Why don't you just admit it? I mean, don't get me wrong, you talk a good game, you give, some of these teabaggers and some of those people that are on the fences and, some of the conservatives that are disenchanted, you give them a little bit of hope with your little rhetoric and your little banter, all right? But, with all due respect, you're not providing any solutions, you're just rabble-rousing. I've been providing solutions on this broadcast for almost 4 years. All right, and these solutions are very simple. Free market capitalism. All right, let's start producing in America once again. And how do we start producing? Well, first and foremost, we entice private investment. We entice capital back in America. And how do we entice capital back in America? Well, we lower taxes. And on top of which we, start talking to these multinational corporations that were built right here in America, and we start talking to them and start asking them, hey, where's your loyalty, huh? Where's your loyalty? Is your loyalty with the country that built your little stupid pissing ground company, or is your loyalty with the next big market? And if they say with the next big market, well, tell them to piss off. Straight up. Just tell them to piss off. Now, if they're foreign investors, like, I think, and I hate to take up for a foreign company. All right? I hate to, somehow, give any kind of a foreign company any kind of kudos, but I think it was rather disgusting how everybody's been beating up on Toyota over this floor pedal situation. Now, don't get me wrong. It's unfortunate that people died, and, it was a manufacturer's error, whatever the hell it was, all right? But I thought that they've bit the bullet, and they've, recalled all kinds of cars, and they've been overly protective, in my opinion. They weren't like some American companies that have been bailed out thanks to the American taxpayer who, actually hired bean counters to, see if they could actually save money by just not even recalling certain car malfunctions and just settling out with, lawsuits with individuals that got afflicted with these certain, malfunctions of these automobiles. I think that Toyota, which is a foreign investor in America, folks, it's actually providing jobs. Believe it or not, this is a Japanese company that is investing in America. And why is it investing in America? Because it understands that we consume a lot of trucks. It understands that we consume a lot of cars. We're stupid like that. We'll sign our whole life away for a car. Just ask any of your friends. You probably know these idiots. They sign their whole damn life away for a damn car. So, what is Toyota doing? It's trying to show its appreciation by investing in the country that created its success. All right, it's a shame that American companies aren't more, giving to its, consumer. But, what are these car companies doing? They're taking our tax dollars. That's what they're doing. Taking our damn tax dollars. So, look, I'm not trying to take up for Toyota, all right? I'm not, justifying what they've done. I'm just saying, everybody's being a little hard on Toyota here. All right? There's been American automobile companies that have done nefarious activities that have just been, just kind of brushed over. And here you have Toyota, a foreign company who's actually biting the bullet on this one. They are actually losing money. They're losing money by recalling all these cars, and, they're being overly protective with their consumer. And I think it's great. I think it's great that they're being overly protective. I'm serious. I'm glad that, not only did they find the pedal thing, there's an airbag thing going on, there's a brake thing on the Prius, there's all kinds of things that they don't even want to mess with. Since they're already taking a loss, they figure they might as well make sure that if there's any kind of discrepancy with any of their automobiles, that they need to rectify it. So, for all you ass clowns that are sitting here, talking garbage about Toyota, they're the only ones investing in America, you idiots. They're the only ones out here manufacturing cars in America. They're the only ones not taking freaking bailouts. It's a damn shame that I'm saying this about a Japanese company, but let's say it how it is, folks. Let's say it how it is. I'm sick and tired of these so-called American companies hiding behind the, behind the image of Americanism, when what they're doing is utilizing us, to juice us for all they can so that they can expand their markets throughout the international community and leave us in the dust. So, if Toyota's listening, you know what? Screw these idiots, all right? Screw these morons, all right? It's not like, you're doing a bad thing here. You're recalling your merchandise so that you can make it better for your consumer. All right? How many American companies have done that? It's ridiculous, man. But this is what we need to fix our economy, folks. We need production. We need production back in our economic system. We are 70% consumption as it relates to our gross domestic product, our GDP. Look it up, ass clowns. We are 70% consumption. And we need to make 70% production again. That's what we need. And once we start producing products for the international community, for all countries, because remember, what should be globalized, if we're going to globalize anything, folks, if we're going to embrace a globalized system, it should be globalized in economics. And the reason it should be globalized in economics, folks, is because everyone prospers with globalized economics. I mean, you know, if a country, a third world country who obviously hasn't been blessed with great natural resources and, you know, isn't like these Arab countries with oil where they can just, you know, sell oil on the world market and get billions upon billions so they can just basically buy their way into modernity. You know, with worldwide economics, we can actually have a third world nation be invested by a private entity to educate this third world nation, to produce products, to produce services, to produce things on a worldwide market. I mean, do you understand that we are going to see the world's first trillionaire in our life? And the reason that we're going to see the world's first trillionaire is because we are embracing worldwide economics. And that's the way it should be. I'm not embracing, hey, we should all be a one-world government under the United Nations. I'm not embracing none of that. I think we should stop funding the United Nations. I think the United Nations is an absolute failure. It's a disgrace to humanity. I know that they're trying to fulfill Immanuel Kant's, philosophical idea, but it ain't going to work, all right? And it hasn't worked. It's a contradiction. If we're going to globalize the world, we need to globalize it with economics. 646-652-4869 is the number to call, folks. There is no chat room, so if you want to interact with the True Conservative radio program, follow me on Twitter. Ghost Politics is the name. And, you know, send me a line. Send me your thoughts. Send me some comments. Send me some questions. Ghost Politics is the name to send them at Twitter. I'm going to take a few calls here, and let's see what people have to say. Should we bail out the real estate market? Are you happy with 70% consumption on the gross domestic product of the United States? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, when are we going to wake up? And, of course, folks, if I take some of these callers, we may have a couple of prank-calling ass clowns that are going to, say some curse words or say some racial slurs or, say some enemy-related lingo so that they can get their rocks off and, build their little credibility in their stupid little cyber social circles when in actuality all they're doing is committing digital terrorism. And like I said, this past Sunday on Meet the Press, the National Security Agency's head, Brennan, basically said to the American people that it is a joint effort between the government, private enterprise, and the American people to catch these digital terrorists and to hold them accountable. And by God, folks, let me tell you, if you know who these digital terrorists are, if you know who they are, I strongly advise you to go ahead and hold them accountable. Anyway, folks, we're going to take some calls here, 646-652-4869. And, of course, the Twitter name to tweet is Ghost Politics. 718, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, how are you?
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Totally agree with what you're saying. And there's actually historical proof to back up your data that free markets actually do correct depressions. People don't normally learn about it, but the Depression of 1920 or 1919 into 1921 about, that's when President Harding pretty much cut tax rates in half, cut government spending in half, and all of a sudden you have the Roaring '20s.
Yeah, I've talked about that many times on this program, and it's good to hear that there's a young man like you that knows about that. Yeah,
totally, man. And I mean, and you talk about, oh, but that led to the big bust of the Great Depression. No. That's President. Who was the president in 1929?
The president in 1929?
Whoever that was. Crap, I can't think of the name. Anyway, he was the one. He was a Republican, somewhat progressive. He's the one that started to raise tax rates, raise tariffs on foreign nations, and of course, in turn, they raised their tariffs on our exports, and that's how we get the bust of the going into the Great Depression. President Hoover.
Yeah, well, and on top of which, also, it has a lot to do with the credit situation back then, when people were all putting their life savings in the stock market and then trading it on margin.
Oh yeah, totally. That's definitely a part of it. But but on top of that, more government involvement is making the problem even worse, and we're falling into the same trap today. And only today, instead of the government trap being something you can come out of, it's trillions and trillions of dollars. I mean, this is ridiculous. You can't recover from that.
Absolutely not. We can't recover from that without 75% tax rates here within the next 10 years.
Oh, we're going to get debt 90% on GDP and by the time Obama's out of office, or hopefully he's out of office in another 2 years or so.
Hopefully.
I mean, we're going to have 90% on GDP. That's ridiculous. That's a breaking point right there.
And what's really unfortunate is that, an old man like myself, what's really unfortunate about it is I'm going to be long gone, and a young man like yourself is going to be the one having to flip the bill for these baby boomer assholes who are out here that just, decided, hey, I'm going to be young for life. I'm going to be in the 60s and drop acid and have mud pit orgies and listen to music. And then in the 70s, I'm going to snort cocaine off of chicks with bell-bottoms asses and do a little dance and make a little love. And then in the 80s, they decided to become corporate moguls. And they decided to, go out and, start multinational corporations or become big-time executives and all this other nonsense. And now that we're in a situation that all their ridiculous, selfish, pathetic activity is coming to pay the piper, now they're about to die, and they're leaving young people like yourself having to bear the burden of this crap. And this is why I feel sorry for you young people. And to be frank, I don't think that you should be taking care of these old people with their Social Security and their Medicaid. I mean, what did they leave you? They left you nothing but debt. They left you nothing but misery. You're never going to have the opportunity that they had. And they want you to pay for their Social Security. You're having to deal with $35,000 in the private sector in 2010. That's ridiculous. And then they want to take your beans, the beans that you make, however you make it, they want to take your beans and they want you to pay Social Security that you're never going to see so that these old piece of prostate-infected, gluttonous, baby boomer assholes can live a little bit longer so that they can, pop Viagras and bone each other, a 70, 80-year-old bag of bones boning each other. It's disgusting.
Yeah, we're pretty screwed.
I'm sorry, son. I mean, it's pathetic because, you're an educated young man, and it burns a hole in my soul to hear that your generation is going to be taxed to death because nobody gave a crap about y'all. I hate to say it, but nobody gave a crap about y'all. I mean, you want to know why everybody likes that movie, The Christmas Story? Oh, because it's an innocent time. Because you know what? The baby boomers were raised that way. You weren't raised that way. You were raised in a sick, sadistic, pathetic society that showed you sexual deviant activity, violence, and had your parents work 24 hours a day for what? For what? So that these losers can move into the same house that your parents worked for? It's a disgrace.
Totally.
Anyway,
I tell you, these higher taxes, all they're going to do is, lead to the further breakdown of the family. I mean, how are you going to afford college and afford everything else that you have to go through? Forget about it. And that's the overall agenda. It's crazy.
It's absolutely pathetic. And you know what's really unfortunate is nobody's waking up. I mean, there's few young people that are waking up. There's few people my age that are, that put some odd dollars in the bank and, that are pretty well off, that don't need Social Security, that don't need the young people's help. And I think that what you need to do is you need to stand up and you need to realize that, hey, we don't want to pay for you old people anymore, right? I mean, you should have already had enough money. You had so many economic opportunities up until this time. Now it's time for us to have some economic opportunity, you piece of crap. And I guarantee you take off Social Security, you take off Medicaid, you take off Medicare and all these other entitlements, and then start cutting taxes on investment and on privatization, on capital. And I guarantee you will see the free market reign supreme once again, and you'll start seeing some fiscal responsibility back in America. And hopefully you can have just an inkling of the opportunity that these stupid, ungrateful baby boomers that should go down in disgrace in history had, back in their day.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, son. Do you have a blog or something you wanna plug or anything?
Well, I mean, not particularly, but at the moment I have a Facebook group, Schumann for President 2032. So if anyone wants to give it a look up, feel free to join.
Hey, well, thank you very much for calling in, son. I mean, let me tell you, it's calls like that just give me energy once again to continue to do these broadcasts, to continue to write blogs, to continue to be politically active, because, I mean, this is the type of people, these are the type of young people that we need, understanding history, understanding the foundation of politics, economics, and social interaction. And, by God, thank you very much for calling, young man. And once again, if you want to give me a call, 646-652-4869. And, of course, there is no chat room thanks to these digital terrorists and hooligans that are out here hacking the chat room. So if you want to interact with the True Conservative Radio Show, shoot me a tweet, all right, at Twitter. Ghost Politics is the name to shoot a tweet at. And we've got some tweets coming in. Excuse me. I know tweets sound it sounds ridiculous. It sounds emasculating, but, welcome to new America, This is the same America where, Lady Gaga is the new thing out here. I mean, don't ask. Anyway, I know we got, Sean, we got Delman, we got some Remy guy, he's got we got a whole bunch of people tweeting me up. We got the line stacked with a whole bunch of callers, so let's go ahead and continue taking some calls. Well, you know what, before I take one more call, let me go ahead and end with this real estate bailout situation, because we spent some time on it. I do not think that we should bail out the real estate situation, and I know that we're going to take a tumble, folks. A lot of people are going to lose real estate value on their homes. A lot of real estate developments may be desolate, may become homeless, squatting situations for derelicts and drunks and drug addicts. But, folks, it only just proves us right for being fiscally irresponsible. And you see, what's really unfortunate is nobody wants to bite the bullet for their fiscal irresponsibility. Nobody wants to bite the bullet. Nobody wants to say, okay, look, I screwed up. I bit off more than I can chew. Okay, let me just, calm down. Let me try to bounce back here for the next few years and, get myself out of the rut that I put myself into. But you're not hearing anything of the sort from these individuals. Instead, you got them with their hands out begging the state, oh, please, I've got to continue to live in my great house. I've got to continue driving around my Cadillac. I've got to continue to live my life, even though it's not free market capitalism, but I don't care. I don't care how I get my materials. So not only do I think we should not bail out the real estate market, I think that we need to get the money back from these Wall Street executives. And I'm not talking the way Obama and the liberals are trying to do it, because they're the ones that gave these assholes the money. But this is political trickery, folks. This is their way to try to limit people's incomes. You see, by allowing the banks to raid the American tax-paying system, they knew that these bankers were going to, they knew they were going to give themselves big bonuses, because if the revenue is in the bank, then it's in the profit books, then the executives are contractually obligated to certain bonuses or to certain pay that's stipulated in the contract. And you see, the liberals knew this. The liberals did know this. So what happened? So they allowed the bankers and the Wall Street assholes to raid our tax system in Stimulus Package 2, and now Obama and the liberal regime is claiming that I want my money back, baby. The American people want their money back, baby. I mean, he's touting that all over town halls all over America, that we want our money back. Well, you're the one that gave it to them. And have you heard the remedy in trying to obtain the revenue from these banking executives? That's right, they're going to limit the amount of income that you can take home as an executive or take home as a person working for a corporation. Oh, yeah. Yeah, folks, this is a pure class struggle tactic by this communist/socialist regime. I mean, if you don't believe me that this is class struggle, take a look at all the real estate problems that are happening today and how they're remedying that situation. They're putting people that should be in a project home somewhere, they're putting these people in upper middle class or high class neighborhoods because, the real estate market's taking a tumble and we have to put people in these houses. We have to put people in these houses to save the real estate market. So they put these lowlives in your neighborhood, and lo and behold, your car's broken into. There's gangbangers hanging out in the streets, sipping on 40s and smoking Philly blunts. It makes me sick just thinking about it. And your damn neighborhood looks like a damn ghetto. So anyway, folks, do not bail out. I mean, let's stop bailing out these assholes, all right? That's enough. I mean, this is our money. This is our tax dollars. Anyway, let me go ahead and move on to something else, folks. I want to move on to the subject matter of Iran because, Thursday marked the, however many years it's been since the damn Iranian Revolution, 30 years, whatever. Who gives a crap, all right? I don't care. But what I do care about is the Iranian resistance. The same Iranian resistance that keeps in contact with me. And, folks, I have been in contact with the Iranian resistance within Iran. They're still alive. They're still, trying to flourish. And, folks, these people are unarmed. They are resisting the militant totalitarianism of the Ayatollah and Ahmadinejad with no weapons in their hand whatsoever. I mean, that's how brave the Iranian people are out here. I mean, they don't want to have anything to do with their hypocritical, theocratic authority. And you know what they're doing? They're doing what American people aren't doing. All right? They're just going out in the streets and protesting. They're saying, hey, we think this is crap. All right? You're hypocritical. You're pieces of garbage. Death to the Ayatollah. Death to Ahmadinejad. And that's the way it should be, folks. Death to Ayatollah, death to Ahmadinejad. All right, and, to the folks in Iran who listen to this broadcast, and believe it or not, folks, I've got people who listen in Iran. For the folks listening in Iran, this broadcast is for you. Keep fighting. Keep the resistance going. The Ayatollah and Ahmadinejad are against the ropes. They announced earlier in the week that the West was going to be shocked by some spectacular event that they were going to unleash on Thursday to commemorate the Islamic Revolution. And what did they do? They did nothing. All right? I speculated, as a matter of fact, I over-speculated what they potentially could do on this Thursday. But because they didn't do anything, that just goes to show you their lack of true power as an international force. Now, once again, I strongly urge the American government to show restraint when attempting to approach the Iranian situation through military conflict. And the reason I say that is because that's exactly what the Iranian Revolution wants. That's what Ahmadinejad and the Ayatollah want. They want conflict with the West. That will bring their country together. I mean, do you understand? They're on the brink of civil war. They're on the brink of civil war. This has been going on for 8 months. The resistance is strong. And I want to say to the resistance in Iran, keep fighting. All right? I mean, look at America. I mean, we've had freedom, and we don't even want to fight for it anymore. I mean, you haven't had freedom, Iran. You know what you've had? You've had tragedy. You've had devastation. You've had war. And these wars were directly related to the Islamic Revolution, this authority, this Ayatollah, this Ahmadinejad that was in power. These individuals forced your parents and your grandparents to fight in wars that were absolutely meaningless to the country of Iran. And your family put their lives on the line for this ridiculous revolution. And what has it panned out? What has transpired since then? Nothing more than a bureaucratic system that oppresses its own people. And the people of Iran are starting to realize this. They're starting to know this, and I'm glad that at least I have a small contribution to a certain small element of the Iranian resistance that's out there listening to the True Conservative radio program, and that are getting somewhat inspired to hear an American, an actual American, because folks, they are taught since they're in kindergarten, they're taught to say death to America, death to Israel. I mean, they're taught this in school, for heaven's sake. And every time they listen to the True Conservative radio program, when I have these broadcasts about Iran, they are completely amazed that there's an American that actually is showing compassion. There's an American that's actually showing care for the Iranians, for the Iranian countrymen, for Iranian people. And the reason that I care about the Iranian people, to my friends in Iran, is because you're fighting for freedom. And anybody who is fighting for freedom, who's fighting for liberty, is definitely on my side. Because that's what I'm about, folks. I'm about freedom. I'm about liberty. I don't know what all you damn liberals are about. You're about, being told what to do and how to do it, and, what you can own, what you can't own, and all this other crap. I'm about freedom, I'm about liberty, and I'm about free market capitalism. And the resistance that I speak with in Iran is for the exact same thing. They're for liberty, they're for freedom, they're for free market capitalism. They're sick of their stupid Islamic revolution government having to deal with these old Russian Chinese goods that they're being sold, these old damn old communist crap. They're being sold telecommunications towers by China. That's the remnants of their crap from like 25 years ago. I mean, they're being sold jets and weapons that are obsolete when it comes to supreme power warfare. They're being sold this crap, and these people just have to take it, and they know the contradiction. So, to my friends in Iran, please keep fighting. Death to Ahmadinejad and death to the Ayatollah. Death to Ahmadinejad and death to the Ayatollah. You keep repeating that, because at some point here, by the end of this year, we may just see that, folks. We may just see death to the Ahmadinejad and death to the Ayatollah, but once again, the American government needs to show restraint. The United Nations, the stupid piece of crap worldwide, government apparatus, it needs to show restraint when not only conducting an attempt at a military conflict with Iran, but the sanctions. You got to be careful with the sanctions, because if you provide sanctions or try to put sanctions against Iran and it affects the Iranian people, it makes the Iranian resistance look futile. I mean, it's not a very positive step for the Iranian resistance. So once again, do not have military conflict with Iran. They do not have the capability to, make these big weapons that, Ahmadinejad is claiming. All right, I mean, he's just a saber-rattling idiot that's attempting to facilitate some sort of conflict with the West so that it can bring his country that's on the brink of civil war back together. I mean, that's what organizes a country, huh? War. And these sick assholes out there at the Iranian Revolution, they know that. The Ahmadinejad and the Ayatollah, they know that. They know their country will come together for a war. And I'm saying that we should not have any type of military conflict with Iran. If we're going to do anything, we need to arm the resistance of Iran. If anything, we need to throw some weapons down there. We need to somehow give some damn arms so that they can take up against this totalitarian regime and start, holding this regime accountable. Because, folks, there are no weapons floating around within the general populace of Iran. These individuals within the resistance are going out in the streets with no weapons whatsoever. And they're getting mowed down like dogs. I strongly advise you to go to the YouTube or whatever video site that you go to and look up Iran and Iranian protests and take a look at people that are being killed in the street. They're being killed in the street because they want freedom. Man, look at these Americans out here. They don't give a rat's ass if they have freedom or if they have anything, just as long as they have, a dollar menu in one hand and a free house on the American taxpayer in the other. Give me a damn break. 646-652-4869. What do you think about Iran? What do you think about the Iranian resistance? I want to hear from you. All right, if you're on Twitter, well, by God, I want to hear some tweets. Is there anybody out there? Is this goddamn thing on? Hello, is this thing on? Tweet me, for heaven's sake. Ghost Politics, all one word, no underscores. Anyway, we're going to take a few more callers here, and of course, if there happens to be some prank callers, my apologies ahead of time, folks. Once again, we're having some, enemy losers that are out here and attempting to try to, make themselves look cool in some sort of social cyber pipeline or something. I have no idea. But my apologies ahead of time if we have some ass clowns out here trying to do some sort of prank call. Anyway, 765, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, it's Sean, the ugly guy.
Hey, Sean, what's going on, man? I can't believe somebody said that. I'm sorry that somebody said that on here, but
if that's the worst I get called, then from
well, apparently
some of the stuff
they read your blog, they read your website, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. So
what do you think about this Iranian situation, Sean?
I agree with you to a point that we can't obviously go in there and carpet bomb Iran. It's just not going to work. But we have to do something, because at some point, with the help of the Russians, the Iranian revolution, Ahmadinejad, the Ayatollah, they will have a somewhat of a nuclear weapon, maybe just a nuclear-tipped weapon, maybe something that's not going to cause that much damage. It'll be localized, but something that they could use on their own people. And we've seen that with Iraq, because we did nothing in Iraq in the late 80s. Saddam Hussein used chemical weapons on his own people.
Well, that's a very good point. I understand where you're coming from, but then at the same time, the Iranian resistance understands that possibility, and at the same time, they understand that if that happens, not only will that nullify, the legitimacy of the Islamic Republic of Iran, or whatever you want to call this little bureaucratic system, but at least for America, it will nullify Al-Qaeda, in my opinion. I think that all these people in the jihad business are going to take a step back, because it was the Islamic Revolution that has inspired this terrorist idea to facilitate political or theocratic change. They were the ones that, helped facilitate a lot of these airplane bombings and, the bombing of the barracks and a whole bunch of terrorist acts. And it was the Islamic Revolution that has inspired this. And not only that, a few other characters, but eventually all coming back to the Hezbollah and these factions of the Islamic Revolution. Now, if these individuals are going to kill their own people, that kind of nullifies their whole theocratic premise of being, purely, Islamic or for Allah or whatever the hell they're trying to prove here. And I think that, in essence, it's going to, cause these people that are lured to such groups for jihad, it's going to, put them on the back burner. And on top of which, it could cause a rift between Islam in general, between Shia and Sunni. And the reason I say this is because you're absolutely right. If they do something like this, all-out hell is going to break loose all over the Islamic world. And to be completely honest with you, I don't see that as a bad thing. I think that maybe that's what's needed. I think that they need to rid themselves of the contradictions within their community, which is this fanatical faction, which is not just a small element of their population. I mean, it's a pretty big element. I mean, look at the Islamic Revolution. They control the whole country. So, I think I see nothing but good happening from the Islamic resistance if anything, the United States needs to be somehow arming these people. Arming these people in some fashion so they can take these dumbasses out, and we can start possibly trading with Iran when they concoct some sort of a republic or a democratic society that embraces free markets.
One thing we have to be careful of is not trying to do something so small we screw it up, like we did in Cuba, or like we did when we tried to rescue the people that were held in Iran in the 70s. When we try to do something so small to help out, it seems to backfire on us.
Well, it is a good point, but then again, the motivating factor of Ahmadinejad and the Ayatollah is to getting to conflict with the West. And by getting into that direct conflict, whether it's war, whether it's bombs, whether it's carpet bombings, whether it's bombing of certain facilities, whatever it takes, these individuals want to provoke this because it will bring together their people. Those people that are on the sidelines, that are just kind of observing both sides, they'll kind of coalesce under the revolution and go out and fight the war. And it'll just be an organizing factor. I see nothing but negativity coming out of direct military conflict with Iran.
I'm not worried so much about the United States doing something because I don't think we have a president that would actually has the ball to do it. But it's the people. It's the Israelis.
Well, I do agree with you on that, but, one thing I do agree with Obama on, and he's already told Israel that, we're not going to back them up if they, decide to, go at it themselves and decide to bomb Iran for no apparent reason. I mean, that's one thing I do agree with because, I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, we're trying to facilitate peace in the region amidst chaos, and racially tight situations, if for a lack of a better term. And I think that what we need to understand is that the only way that we're going to facilitate any kind of peace is if those people of origin, the countries of origin, facilitate the change themselves. Now, if Iraq has taught us anything, it's taught us that we can attempt to facilitate change for people, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the people are going to embrace it wholeheartedly. In a situation with Iran, we have people wanting to embrace a freedom and a liberty and a free market situation, and yet we are trying to do the same thing in attempting to, I don't know if we're going to do sanctions, I don't know if we're going to have military conflict. Either of those options are going to be negative because it's going to nullify the resistance in Iran, which is big. I mean, it's been going on for 8 months. It's unprecedented in Iranian history.
Back to Israel for just a second. When we have our State Department and our military saying that within a year or within a year and a half, the Iranians could have a missile, could have a nuclear-tipped missile, and then you have Ahmadinejad and the Ayatollah, who outright threaten Israel and don't even actually recognize them as a state, and say that they're going to, blow them off the map. Now, that could be just political mockery just to get their people excited. I wouldn't disagree with that. But at some point, you can't hold back because at some point you're going to have a situation where Iran has a missile, they're ready to set it off, and we don't know where they're going to set it off, and it could be too late.
Well,
we don't want to, like what I'm trying to say, and we don't want to wait until the 11th hour to do something. And I'm not sure what sanctions are going to do. I think sanctions are only going to bring the people down.
Well, it's definitely going to bring the people down. I mean, the resistance is going to lose power dramatically because the people are going to obviously be affected with sanctions. They're going to be affected economically and, possibly food-wise, and it's going to get them a little upset. and it's going to get them upset because it's going to be the West that inflicted this pain on them, and those that are resisting the Iranian Revolution at this present time are embracing Western ideas. So it kind of, nullifies the resistance within Iran. Go ahead.
No, basically, we're damned if we do and damned if we don't in this situation. All we can hope for is the resistance the resistance being able to start some sort of coup.
Well, that's going to be very difficult to do without being armed, but they are they are completely dedicated. These individuals do not care if they die. A lot of these people that are involved with the resistance, I mean, they lost their parents during these ridiculous wars that these stupid, dumbass Ayatollahs waged for whatever reason. They lost their uncles, their aunts. I mean, this is a very young generation trying to rise up, and I can see it rising up. I can see a civil war and a revolution happening within the next within the next 8 to 12 months. I almost jumped the gun there by saying 4 months, but 8 to 12 months, I could see a full-out revolution. And I think that the United States, at the very minimum, if not the United States, at least somebody out there, there's an international government who's listening into the program, fund and help the Iranian the resistance, give them weapons, give them the supplies needed to throw an armed struggle coup against this ridiculous, bureaucratic, totalitarian, theocratic system.
I agree. Get them something. Get them. I don't know what we can do, but it's going to hit a point where the people are going to meet up with the government on a large scale.
You're absolutely right, and it almost boiled over today. I don't know if you saw some of the pictures coming out of Iran, but it's becoming a powder keg that's about to explode.
All right, Ghost. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem, man. Why don't you tell everybody your website out there?
Truthandthought.net.
All right. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate you listening in. You're an avid listener, and I hope everybody checks out your website. And I appreciate your call.
Thank you, Ghost.
Thanks a lot, man. Anyway, folks, I want to hear from you, 646-652-4869. You're listening to the True Conservative Radio Show. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, there is no chat room. The only way you can get in contact with me and interact with the program is to tweet me on Twitter, and the name to tweet is Ghost Politics. All one word, no underscores, Ghost Politics. There's a few people tweeting out there, but I just want to make sure that this thing's on. I want to make sure there's people listening, for heaven's sake. You're not just playing with your Peter Poppers. I mean, this is a serious situation. I mean, we've got Iran saber rattling, and you've got individuals within our government entertaining ideas like sanctions and military conflict. We've got real estate bailouts on the mouths of those in the Beltway. I mean, this is a bad situation. Once again, my heart and prayers go out to the Iranian resistance. I know that you individuals are out there unarmed, but keep fighting. Keep fighting Ahmadinejad. Keep fighting the Ayatollah, because, by God, you've got freedom and liberty on your side. And as long as you continue to have freedom and liberty, well, by God, you're on the right side of history, the Iranian people. You are on the right side of history. And don't let any damn Ahmadinejad and don't let any damn Ayatollah tell you anything else. All they are is totalitarian, theocratic nut jobs. And you can tell them I said that. Anyway, folks, once again, please call your congressman, call your senator, and tell these power-hungry autocrat ass clowns that we do not want another freaking war. All right? Because we don't need to do it. If we should do anything, we should aid and abet this operation or a clandestine operation of funding and aiding these damn resistance. And of course, you have to do it clandestinely, of course, because if we're wide open about it, China and Russia, will use that as fodder to try to put us in a pickle So there's a whole bunch of situations that can happen here, folks. This is why we need to be discussing these topics. That's why I do this show. That's why I hope every time I conduct these broadcasts I can inspire those that have at least a little bit of synapses sparking in their brains. They can start talking about these issues, discussing it with their family, discussing it with their friends, their peers, their relatives, that sort of thing. Anyway, folks, before I get off on the Iranian situation, I want to say that, it breaks my heart that we don't have American people just doing a fraction of what the Iranian people are doing. Look, the Iranian people are getting killed. They're getting mowed down like a bunch of dogs, all right? But they're doing it because they want freedom, and they want freedom for their future. They care about their future generations. They're not like you American baby boomer assholes that are leaving your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren with 75, 80% tax rates because you assholes wanted to live large for about 80 years. It's disgusting and it's sick. And once again, that's why I always talk about Iran. I get a lot of emails from people. A lot of emails asking me, why do I always harp on Iran? Who gives a crap about Iran? I give a crap about Iran. I give a crap about Iran because they give a crap about freedom. They give a crap about liberty. I can't get this across through you stupid morons' heads anymore. Do you understand that? And I just wish, I could only wish that the American people could just have a fraction of patriotism that the Iranian people have today. If we did, maybe our country wouldn't be in this predicament. Maybe our country wouldn't be in this precarious situation. 646-652-4869. Before I move on any further, folks, I would like everybody to shoot me an email whenever you have the time or whenever you'd like, ask me some questions, comments, whatever you'd like to do, ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. That's no underscores, no spaces, none of that. Ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. And, of course, folks, right now, if you'd like to interact with me, shoot me a Twitter. All right, shoot me a little tweet. Ghost Politics is the name to do that as well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the state of America. The state of America. Folks, I've gone on and on about the state of America. I've told everybody that right now America is on the brink of transitioning into not only some kind of hegemony between leftist ideas, but on top of which, folks, we are going to turn into some sort of a third world technocratic nation. Some kind of a third world technocratic nation. And the reason I'm saying this, folks, is because we are producing nothing. Okay? 70% production, or 70% consumption, 70% consumption on the gross domestic product. All right? The real estate market is about to tank once again. Not just homes, but commercial real estate. All right, you've got the government intervening in every situation possible, allowing everybody who donated to their campaigns have an open season raid on the American tax system. We're having government spending out of the wazoo, and where's this government spending leading? I have no idea. All those jobs that were supposedly created during stimulus package 2? Huh? You remember those stupid little wannabe jobs that this liberal regime was touting was going to happen once we, passed stimulus package 2? Remember those jobs? Well, if you do the math about how much money was spent during the damn stimulus package 2 bill, every one of those jobs, cost the American taxpayer over $410,000 a job. And let me repeat that again so it can sink into your thick skulls. $410,000 a job. That's how much it cost the American taxpayer for this great stimulus package. And let me tell you, that's not the only one that's going to be coming around the Beltway Pike, folks. All right, be expecting a lot more of this ridiculous stimulus garbage. Be expecting a lot more spending. Be expecting a lot more bailouts. And this is our money. This is our cash. This is the taxpayers' money. And if you're one of these idiots collecting entitlements, if you're a single dish rag whore mother who shitted out 8 kids from 8 different fathers, and all you're doing is collecting entitlements. I'm not talking to you, you stupid piece of trash. All right? If you're just some stupid loser collecting all kinds of entitlements and living off the Social Security system, Medicaid system because you got fibromyalgia, all right, I'm not talking to you either, you stupid waste of human flesh. I'm talking to the American law-abiding citizen, taxpayer, American people out there that understand that you have to make a contribution in this society. And what contribution do you have to do? You just have to do your freaking job. You just have to do your freaking job. You know, this whole country, America would be such a better place. Oh, it would be such a great place had people just done their freaking jobs. You know that, folks? And what is everybody's job? Well, you've got to, maintain the social and economic and political situations. I mean, remember, I hate to keep reiterating this, but of course it bears repeating. This was a country made for the people and by the people, but the people fell asleep at the wheel. And lo and behold, all 3 of those elements, social, political, and economical, are all falling down the wayside. They're falling into a world of crap. And it doesn't seem like the American people have the intellectual curiosity to somehow get themselves out of this situation. I just don't see it. Maybe you do. I don't. I mean, there's too many bad things that are happening in this country. I mean, take a look at the fact that we've got gay bondage, being broadcasted, at the American Music Awards, I mean, Adam Lambert, rubbing his crotch, in some dude's face and, kissing another man. And, I mean, it's just a disgusting disgrace. He actually had a man on a chain. He was whipping the man. It's just a disgusting disgrace. We've got American people knowingly taking loans that they know they'll never pay back. And when they can't pay them back, they want to piss and moan that, oh, I'm going through hard times, baby. I'm going through hard times. I need a bailout, baby. I need some of that Obama money. Give me some of that Obama money, baby. I need some of that Obama money for the cash for crap, baby. Cash for crap. Give me some of that Obama money, baby. Yeah, that's what I need, some Obama money. I don't care how much I get. I want my light bill paid. I want my house paid. I want my health insurance paid. Yeah. Break it down. Yeah. I want some of that Obama money, baby. Come on down. Woo! New socialist America. Yeah, baby. Socialist America, baby. Woo! All right, shut it off. I mean, I'm serious, folks. I don't mean to be so facetious, but good God. I mean, this is the way it is. This is the new socialist America that we're living in, and you people could give a rat's ass. I mean, is this thing even freaking on? I mean, I'm thinking about shutting the show down here in about 7 minutes because I don't think anybody's listening. I think everybody's just sitting there, playing with their ball sacks, wondering, when the peach fuzz is actually going to turn out into real hair, when you should be thinking about your American country, the political, social, and economic situation in this country. You need to be worrying about your future, your children's future. You need to be worrying about all these things, but you're not. All right? Instead, you're watching American freaking Idol. Is this thing even on? Hello? Hello, is this thing even on? I mean, give me a goddamn break. Why don't you idiots shoot me a tweet or something, all right? Twitter is not that hard to use, all right? You just shoot the little @ symbol, all right? You know that little, you push Shift 2, all right? You push the little @ symbol, you write Ghost Politics, spacebar, and then you write your little message to me, all right? Say your little comments, ask your little question. I don't really give a crap. All right? But I want to hear something from you people. I am sick and tired of hearing prank calls. I'm sick and tired of these damn digital terrorists shooting me nothing but racial slurs, nothing but pure filth and disgusting profanity. I'm sick of this crap. I mean, is there anybody really listening out there in America? I mean, I'm broadcasting to the world right now. I am broadcasting to the world. I mean, this is the internet, for Christ's sake. I want to know if you're listening. Ghost Politics, shoot me a tweet, for heaven's sake. And by the way, I'm going to be blogging this evening. I'm going to be doing some blogging, and you can get back to the blog at ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. Once again, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com is the name, or as the blog, or the official blog of the True Conservative Radio Show. I'm going to be blogging this evening, and once again, I'd like to hear from you. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. 646, you're on the air.
Hello?
How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing okay, Ghost. Really happy about what you said tonight, and I've lived in Staten Island my whole life, and like you said, I mean, there's just such a culture of entitlement. Especially, it was said too about the stimulus. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my words here. Not the stimulus package, but the socialized health care that they wanted to push through had the Democrats successfully marketed, better. And, they could have expanded Medicare all they wanted to. There was a poll that came out 3 months ago, basically. The support for Medicare, Medicaid, that it's growing with the new generation. And
it's a disgrace.
It's not just a disgrace, it's a calamity. Here you have in Iran a situation where, the Iranian people, imagine what kind of blow it's going to be to fanatical Islam if the Iranian revolution is now overthrown. I can't, I'm actually a student at Hofstra, and the effects would be huge across the whole Middle East. And here we are, we're whittling away our military power. I mean, the Russians just came out with the new 5th generation fighter. There's no way in 20, 30 years with the amount of debt we have, we're going to be an international power. There's no way. No way.
Absolutely not. I mean, there's people positioning themselves. They're positioning themselves to take our place. I mean, China, Russia, the Brits even. The Brits are even giving us the shaft to a certain regard when it comes to a certain economic situations and that sort of thing. Everybody's positioning themselves. The EU is positioning themselves as a new power. It's disgusting. And meanwhile, we are here in America are too busy worrying about, we need universal health care, we need to take care of these people, that people, we need to bail out these people, that people. Meanwhile, the future of this country, and you say you're in college, you're the future of this country, you're not going to have an opportunity in any of this land we call North America, because most of the jobs that are related to the private sector in this country are service industry based. There is no corporate structure. There are no corporate ladders anymore. It's just it's an utter wasteland of useless jobs. I mean, they're the only trades that one can get into that actually pay anything are those that are government related, and by that very definition is socialism, communism, whatever. Take your pick.
And you're going to have Obama. I'm sure he's going to be out of office within the next 4 years. I'm sure there's going to be a Republican president. But, the sad thing is you're talking about an American people who, elected Democrats across the board, 4 years ago. And the thing that really pisses me off is that I got a fucking nigger dick in my asshole! Nigger, fuck,
Everybody hear this, folks? This is the youth of America right there, folks. Did y'all hear that right there? It's the youth of America. But it doesn't surprise me one bit that, somebody like this would actually, here I am. I'm trying to take up for the youth, Trying to take up for the youth of America. And what is this asshole doing? Yelling racial slurs and all kinds of nonsense. Unbelievable. But, hey, well, this is it. This is America, right? This is the America that you folks wanted, huh? You baby boomers, while you're out there trying to become corporate moguls, while you were trying to go out there and keep up with the Joneses and, buy your little boats and take your little trips and all this other crap, you're raising, wastes of human flesh like this. That call up broadcasts and think that, look at me, I just won brownie points. And you notice the lack of bass in that idiot's voice.
Yeah, I'm, a youth. I go to college, and this is the way I talk because, well, I'm a little fruity-ass bastard, a product of the pussified America. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a product of pussified America, and, this is how we talk. Yeah, we talk with a little feminized vernacular like this. Yeah, we talk like we just, popped out of the anal passage of, like, Ricky Martin, shaking his bonbon in the middle of, like, some gay club while we're all having a little circle jerk around each other and saying, oh, yeah, poker face, Lady Gaga.
This is it right here, folks. This is the America that we're raising here. This is it. All right? Welcome to America. Anyway, folks, I want to hear from you once again, 646-652-4869. And I'm glad that caller called, folks, because that just, re-emphasizes and reiterates the subject matter of this particular segment of the program, and that's the state of America. This is why I think that we're going to go down. I mean, we're going down the proverbial toilet because of these idiots that don't really care. They do not care. They think it's a really big joke. And we can thank liberal Hollywood for that. These liberal entertainers, these rappers and all these other idiots. I mean, when are we going to stop even recognizing these assholes? I'm sick of Hollywood. I hate Hollywood. Do you understand that? And you know what? I can say that with a straight face. I don't care, all right? I hate Hollywood. I hate it. I hate everybody affiliated with it. I hate everybody who's an actor in it. I hate everybody who's making any money off of Hollywood. You want to know why? Because they're making money off of manipulating the American people into becoming a bunch of pussified idiots. They are making money off of hypnotizing people into becoming damn socialist communist. So when are you idiots, you American people, going to learn that you need to stop going to the movies? You need to stop watching these stupid $25 million a picture actors. All right? It will be a great day, folks. And I repeat, it will be a great day when Hollywood is in the museums of antiquity. They're communist! McCarthy exposed this years ago. Hollywood is filled with communists. And you notice that most of these communists, most of these leftists, they sound fruitier as hell. They sound so feminized, for heaven's sake. You want to know why, folks? Because that's what they want. They want this leftist idealism. They want this agitation of all groups, folks. This was written long ago by those asshole communists at Frankfurt University in Germany. This was written a long time ago by these ass clowns, that they were going to use gender strife, racial strife, sexual orientation strife. They wrote about this crap, and they were going to use these little strifes to take power. And they've done that, you assholes. They've done that, but do you idiots care? You don't. It makes me sick to see all these so-called conservatives out here that think that they're such freaking patriots because they got the word conservative in their name. But you idiots don't know what it means to be a conservative anymore. I mean, it makes me laugh. It makes me sincerely laugh when I go around the Blog Talk Radio Network and see all these supposed conservative names out here that are supposed to be talking in favor of America when they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing but rabble-rousing. They're doing nothing but blowing hot air. I mean, God damn it, you stupid morons! We're in a serious time in history here! We're in a serious time in history! And you ungrateful pieces of gluttonous shit don't care! You people don't care! I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach. In America, we were able to live like kings! We were all able to live like kings! All of us! And now you stupid, ungrateful, dumbass, fiscally irresponsible, waste of human life idiots want to trade in that so you can live like a freaking peasant. You want to live like a freaking peasant! Well, let me tell you something, folks. For you folks that are bowing down to the state, for you folks that are accepting entitlements, for you folks that are mooching off of the system, I'm not speaking for you assholes, all right? I really don't care what happens to you people. You people are pathetic. You people are wastes of human life. I don't even see why you should even be, in regular society. I mean, all of you people that are collecting entitlements are a detriment to our society. Don't you understand that it's you people that are ruining our country? I mean, don't you understand that you idiots, and I'm not just speaking of the losers of society, the regular deadbeats and the single whore mothers. I'm talking about all these companies that are taken from the American taxpayer also. These so-called American companies that have to be bailed out. I'm talking about everybody who's taking government money and profiting. Everybody who's taking government money and profiting off of the American taxpayer. I'm talking to you. You people are a detriment to our country. It is you people that have single-handedly brought down America. That's why I have no care in the world. Oh, yeah, you know what? My ass bleeds for the poor in America. Oh, yeah, my ass bleeds for the poor in America. I don't care about the poor in America. I don't care about the damn single whore mothers that are continuously shitting out children that they can't afford. You've got women out here knowingly having children when they don't have any kind of documented income, when they have no means to feed that child, and yet they're continuously shitting out these children. Why? Because, our entitlement system will give them some cash to live on. Oh, they got child support. Do you understand that our system has created this disgusting social cesspool that we live in today's America? Don't you idiots understand that? And what are you going to do about it? Obviously, half you idiots are embracing this crap. Half of you morons are embracing this sick, demented cesspool that we call America. While we're on the Titanic, you people are sitting there poking holes in the ship. You people are poking holes in the ship. You're throwing the life rafts overboard, for heaven's sake, because you're disgrace. You want to know why these people are motivated by leftism? And I'll say it and I will continue to say it. The reason people are motivated by leftism, because they're failures in free market capitalism. Yeah, why do you think that there's always like pseudo-intellectuals related with these leftist movements? These pseudo-intellectuals that are supposed to be so brilliant when it comes to leftist political theory. It's always these ass clowns that are, always the ones to promote this leftist ideology because they're lifelong failures in the free market system. They're lifelong failures in capitalism. And that's why they sound like this. That's why they sound,
oh, how you doing? Yeah, I'm a failure in the free market capitalist system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a leftist. I'm going to be a leftist, and I'm going to cause digital terrorism, and I'm going to trade pedophilic material on sites like 4chan, and I'm going to prank call conservative radio shows, and then I'm going to post it on E-Bombs World, because that's what we do nowadays, because, we service glory holes, and we go to underground bathhouses in San Francisco, and we go out and we talk garbage. We try to suppress people's freedom of expression and freedom of speech because, well, we want our freedom of speech.
I mean, this is the American left. I kid you not, folks. This is how they are. They're a bunch of fruity-ass idiots that are claiming that they want freedom. In the process, they want to take away your freedom. They want to take away your freedom. I'm not speaking for these losers collecting entitlements. I'm not speaking for these leftists. I am not speaking for these dumbass conservatives that think that Sarah Palin is the second coming, even though she's a moron. I speak for true American people that are law-abiding citizens, that are taxpayers, that understand that you need to make a contribution to this society, and that contribution is to conduct yourself properly in the political spectrum and do your freaking job! Do your freaking job, you morons! But you can't even do that. Look at all these morons in America. Oh, yeah, you know, to be completely honest with you, okay, I bet you most of these idiots that are out here collecting all this unemployment and these people that are claiming, oh, I'm trying to get a job. I sent out 100 resumes and nothing's coming back. I'll tell you why nothing's coming back, because conveniently nothing's coming back. It's very convenient to sit on your fat jelly ass and watch Maury Povich and Jerry Springer all day collecting unemployment than it is actually going to work every single day like you should be doing, you ungrateful prick! But this is what these people want. They want socialism, they want communism, folks, and we are on the Titanic, folks. That's the state of America. It doesn't seem like it's going to change. I know that there are sporadic spurts of individuals that are trying to rise up against this communist socialist takeover, but folks, I don't see any optimistic perspective of American future. Like I was telling the last caller before he decided to be some prank calling jerk off, I was telling them that there are other powers within the international community that are positioning themselves to supersede America as the supreme superpower in the international community. I mean, don't you idiots understand that we built this game? That America built this free market system, this globalized economic system, that the multinational corporations that are around today, most of them were born right here in America, and now they're giving America the shaft. They've sent the means of production outside the United States into communist China and into Taiwan and into South America. I mean, don't you idiots understand that? I mean, how hard is it to understand, you stupid simpleton morons? I mean, good God, man. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand you people. It's not very difficult. All you got to do is just participate in the government, you assholes. It's not very difficult at all. Anyway, folks, I want to hear from you. 646-652-4869. We may get some more prank callers up in here. But I sincerely hope not. I sincerely hope we do not get any more prank callers because, well, I mean, these are serious times. I mean, you know, this is a serious subject matter. This is a serious show. You know, I mean, we need to start taking control of our government. We need to start taking control of America here. I mean, like I was telling the gentleman earlier in the program who was concerned, I mean, the youth of America, their future consists of 75-80% tax rates. And that's based upon all the damn spending that this damn liberal regime is doing for the sake of who the hell knows why. It's a disgrace. I mean, I don't know what else to say, folks. I don't understand how you people can continue to walk around society without getting overwhelmed by the stench of just disgusting, despicable people. I'm sick and tired of going into a damn grocery store and seeing these people dressed in absolute garbage, dressed in absolute rags with, you know, greasy shit stains on their shirt and, you know, holey shorts and flip-flops, and yet these idiots are going into a 2010 Ford pickup. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of these idiots, you know, giving me the sob stories and, oh, I'm having it bad. Times are tough. Aww. Hey, well, tough titty, all right, you assholes. I mean, maybe you shouldn't buy the $600 or $500 iPhone. Maybe you shouldn't go out and buy the new iPad. Maybe you shouldn't go out and buy the new, you know, technologically savvy gadget. You know, maybe you should not live beyond your means. Maybe you shouldn't, you know, take out humongous loans and credit lines. But, of course, you try to tell these people this, they'll act like you just farted on their best suit or something. You know, they'll look at you like you just, you know, kicked their kids in the ass or something. It's a disgrace. These people think that they're so entitled to all this crap that, why do you, well, you got a house and I don't, baby. You got a house and I don't. That ain't fair, baby. That ain't fair. I deserve a house too. Hey, look at you, man. You got 2 bags, baby.
You got 2 bags. I ain't got no bags, baby. You need to give me one of them bags.
I'm telling you, that's how America is. That's the new America that we are now in. It's no longer about hard-working people getting what they put in. I mean, these idiots are just going out saying, "Come on, baby, I need it, baby. I need some of Obama's stash, baby." Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. 951, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up? My name is Jacob.
How you doing, Jacob?
Hey, I was going to say that it's impossible to one person talk for every American. It's just that it's so diverse here, and so many people are going through so many different things that it's really, you can't say that you are talking for every American, because honestly, you're pretty far to the left, and they're far to the right. You're just politically charged,
Well, first of all, I didn't say I talk for everybody in America. If you were listening instead of, whacking off to, I don't know, Roman Polanski pedophile pictures or whatever the hell you're doing over there, you would have heard the fact that I am not speaking for assholes that have collected government money or taxpayer money. I'm not speaking for idiots that are embracing leftist ideas and communist and socialist ideas. I don't speak for these idiots that are compassionate to those that are supposed to be poor in America when there are no poor in America. I mean, if you want to see real poor, why don't you go out to Africa, huh? Why don't you go out to Africa? Why don't you go out to, one of these real third world countries where they're living in mud huts and, literally are communicating through clicking sounds, all right? Why don't you talk to me then about poverty in America? This is what I'm telling you, 951, all right? I don't care about the poor in America, so I'm not speaking for them. I don't care about single dish rag whore mothers, so I'm not speaking for them. I don't care about losers who collect entitlements, so I'm not speaking for them. Who I care about are law-abiding citizens, American people who have never collected an entitlement, who are fiscally responsible, who are tax-paying citizens who understand that we need the free market system and we need to stop embracing this damn socialistic communist crap, stimulus package checks, cash for clunkers, cash for crap, bailouts. We need to cut it out. And not only do we need to cut it out, we need to get all that money back. We need to get it all back. So I know, 951, you were trying to be cute and trying to, show that,
you can't really speak for everybody, it's impossible for one man to speak for everybody.
I'm not speaking for everybody, you ass clown. All right, I'm speaking for the true American people that are out here who understand that, we don't want to take care of these losers anymore. All right, I mean, Acorn, that's all I got to say. The organization of Acorn that has been backed up by the liberals. I mean, they're doing and inducing criminality so they can induce class struggle. All right? I'm not speaking for those people. I'm not speaking for Acorn. I'm not speaking the people who, go to Acorn for to skirt around bureaucratic red tape and to do illegal criminal activity. I'm not speaking for criminals. I'm not speaking for these idiots. So you're right, sir. I'm not speaking for everybody. So what's your problem? Are you there?
Can I speak for myself? Can I speak for myself?
Well, what's your problem?
Do you think the quality of life in Africa is better than the quality of life in America? Do they enjoy the things that we get to enjoy?
What the hell are you talking about? They don't enjoy anything. What are you talking about? They got to go out and hunt their food. All right? The reason why you sound so pussified, sir, the reason why you can sound like,
oh, how you doing? Oh, yeah.
The reason why you can sound like that because your mammy, because obviously you were just raised by your mammy, there's no fatherly influence there. And if there was fatherly influence there, I guarantee you he's servicing glory holes or toe tapping on the side. But, the reason that you can, talk like this, like,
oh, how you doing? Yeah, Ghost, you don't talk for us.
The reason you can say that and talk like that and be so feminized is because you don't have to hunt for your food. Yeah, you don't have to go out and hunt for your food. You don't have to go out and, conduct yourself in slave labor. You don't have to do this type of crap. You're on a computer. You're on the internet. You're listening to my voice. All right, to sit here and make this logical fallacy or some leftist argument like, oh, see, saying like, Africans got a better life, and I want you to just get to the point, sir. I mean, just get to the point. All right, now we've established that I don't speak for everybody in America, and I don't. Who I do speak for is the bourgeoisie. I mean, that's who I speak for. You want my personal opinion, I'm speaking for the bourgeoisie. I want the bourgeoisie to flourish. All right, that's who I'm speaking to, all right? I mean, I'm not sitting here, trying to pussyfoot around with a bunch of nonsense here. All right, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we need to take care of the poor, and oh, we need to take care of single mothers, and oh, we need to take care of these people or that people. Hey, this is freedom. It's free market capitalism. We need to, just grin and bear it. For those people that went in over their heads financially, well, tough titty, all right? I'm not speaking for those people. I'm speaking for true American people who understand the free markets and who understand that we don't need the government interfering with the private sector. Now, what else do you have to say?
Nothing. Just wanted to, I was born in Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days going out, relaxing.
Look, this is what I'm saying here, folks. This is it right here. You see this? I made this idiot look lower than a leprechaun's nutsack, and what is he doing? He's singing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song, for heaven's sake. I mean, this is the kind of crap that we're producing out here in America. Do you understand that? This is the kind of garbage. And this is another one on the list, all right? I mean, let me tell you, this list keeps growing and growing, Let me just name off the area codes that are on the list, all right? 417-814-334, 818-619, 973-812, 760, 815-812, 904, 334, 831, 928, 248, 646, and 951. I mean, I'm telling you, you stupid morons that are sitting here prank calling me up, I'm collecting a list and I'm checking it twice, I tell you right now. So keep calling, you stupid morons. All right? Keep calling, you stupid fruity bastards. You people are terrorists. You people are digital terrorists. That's what you are. And I hope that, at some point you individuals are held accountable. And I know that all of you aren't going to be held accountable, so that's why I'm saying the leaders of your little stupid websites that you follow, because you people are life losers. Let's be honest. I mean, it's really convenient that all these assholes that are from these area codes that prank call me, they're always around whenever I do these sporadic broadcasts, They're always available to listen in. They're always around. I mean, it makes you wonder, how are these people getting by in life, huh? How are they able to afford an internet connection? How are they able to afford a computer just sitting on their fat asses and have all the time in the world to just, be able to listen in live in a sporadic broadcast? It's because they're losers. All right? I mean, they're pathetic individuals. So this is why they're lured by such idiotic crap like 4chan and E-bombs. All right? I mean, these are these kids. These kids are literally under the age of 18. They have absolutely nothing to do, and some of these people are older, of course, but a lot of them are under the age of 18, and they're life losers. I'm willing to guarantee that most of these people are fat, freckle-faced, red-headed, beaten stepchildren, all right, and literally the dumbass that, created 4chan, that's exactly what he is. He's a red-headed piece of crap, and these are idiots with just, I mean, as you can tell by their lack of integrity, they're soulless, they have no backbone, they have no integrity, and the only thing that actually gives them any reason to live is to make other people's lives miserable. But they are not unlike other people in America, folks. This is what modern-day America has turned into. It's turned into a society of haters, a society of people who want to tear other people down for the sake of doing it. I mean, we're American people. I mean, if we should be tearing people down, we should be tearing these foreign countries down. I mean, if we should be hacking anybody, we should be hacking China. We should be hacking Iran. But no, you know what these idiot kids are doing? They're sitting out here trying to contribute to the destruction of this country. And I strongly advise you to look at both of these websites. These websites contribute to so much criminality. It amazes me why there's not some kind of judiciary process being implemented on these people. All right, I mean, I'm serious. I'm surprised that these people haven't gone through the justice system. But no, you know, the creator and founder of 4chan, Chris Poole, that stupid, dumbass, fruity-ass, dumbass idiot who looks like he's servicing glory holes at campuses across America, you know, he goes out and he's embraced by Ivy League colleges. Oh, he's asked to talk at Ivy League colleges, and
hey, Moot, how is it exactly that you become so influential by taking your mother's credit card and purchasing server space and ganking, you know, one of these little free web scripts, and actually, you know, conducting some sort of like stupid-ass little makeshift forum post site for anime losers, and you turn that into, you know, some sort of like cyber cult? You know, tell us, you know, how you're such a contribution to human enlightenment, Moot.
I mean, I'm serious. These idiots literally look up to this piece of trash. And I'm telling you, all conservatives, parents, patriots, people who are concerned, avid listeners who listen to this program and who are listening and email me all the time, asking me who are these disgusting, filthy individuals, that's who they are, folks. And I'm calling on everyone who wants to, you know, do something better, you know, make this country better. You know, first thing we need to do is start holding people accountable. And I think that anybody who does anything to manipulate our youth should be held accountable, you know, to a degree that I can't even imagine. And that's exactly what this Christopher Poole, in my opinion, does. I mean, you know, this is what he does with this little stupid website that he's got going on here. It's a launching pad for criminality. These individuals use this to, you know, conduct fake bomb threats and child porn exchanges and yeah, all kinds of crap. You can do the searches for yourself about 4chan, but these are these assholes that are calling me up talking garbage. And if it isn't them, it's these assholes from E-Bomb's world. And let me tell you, Eric Bauman, that's another idiot that needs to be held accountable. All right, but the difference between Moot and Eric Bauman is Eric Bauman made $17 million off of selling his, you know, ganked crap. You know, Moot is still, from what I understand, still living with his mammy, you know, trying to, you know, salvage a living off of that pissing ground little 4chan site that he's running off of selling pornography sites. Yeah. Yeah, great job, Moot. What a contribution to human enlightenment. Yeah, you're a disgrace. You know that? And I'm calling on all conservatives, parents, and all concerned citizens, hold this young man accountable. He's always speaking all over the country. Oh, yeah, he has a little cocky-ass smile, like, yeah, look at me. I'm an ex-anime nerd that has convinced other anime nerds to suck on my wee-wee. But he goes all over the country talking at these speaking engagements, folks, and I strongly advise you, hold them accountable. Hold these idiots accountable. These people are terrorists. These people are manipulating your children so that they can do their bidding, all right? In my view, these people are committing you know, a conspiracy to commit criminality, a digital terrorism. So if our justice system isn't going to hold 4chan accountable, if the justice system is not going to hold E-Bombs accountable, well, then we need to hold them accountable, folks. Do you understand that? I mean, you know, we need to hold these people accountable. You know that, you know, we got our president over here wanting to not hold these 9/11 attackers accountable. We need to hold those people accountable. If our justice system is not going to work to help us, the American citizen who's law-abiding and who pays taxes, well, then we need to do it ourselves. And that's why I say, you know, Moot, Chris Poole, Eric Bauman, these pieces of digital terrorist crap, in my view, these people need to be held accountable. So I'm calling on all parents, on anybody who's concerned, anybody who wants to do something good for the country. Hold those idiots accountable, especially that 4chan asshole, Chris Poole. What a disgrace. All right, that's a young man right there who needs to be held accountable because he's manipulating our children. And these are people under the age of 18. These are kids under the age of 18 doing criminality because they want to be, I don't know, liked amongst this stupid piece of crap enemy social circle. It's a disgrace. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. I'm going to be blogging later on this evening, so go ahead and bookmark and blog. Add the blog to your favorites, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And, of course, folks, if you want to email me, shoot me a line, all right? Give me some comments. Give me some feedback. Give me some questions. ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. That's ghostpolitics@yahoo.com. And, of course, folks, if you want to be the first to know when I'm going to conduct these sporadic broadcasts, because they are sporadic, follow me on Twitter, folks. It's the best way to figure out when I'm going to conduct these broadcasts. And the name to follow is Ghost Politics, all one word, no underscores. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in with me. Long live the true conservative movement and death to feminism.
Oye, is that the new Samsung Galaxy S7? Yeah, I got it for $0 on AT&T Next. Plus, it takes amazing pictures. Oops. Don't worry, it's a water-resistant Samsung Galaxy S7.
You can get the new Samsung Galaxy S7 for $0 on AT&T Next, too. AT&T, mobilizing your world. Requires well-qualified credit, installment agreement, and service. Balance due if service canceled. Taxes, activation, or upgrade, and other fees, charges, and restrictions apply. Water resistant up to 5 feet for up to 30 minutes. Rinse residue. Wipe dry. Visit att.com/next for details.